Welcome to Soothing History for Sleep. I'm your host, Carter Reed. In the still, serene landscape of ancient Greece, headaches were seen not as mere physical discomfort, but as divine messages. The Greeks believed that these pains sprouting from the depths of their minds were signs from Apollo, the god of healing and truth. This understanding was not a mere whim. It was deeply entrenched in their society, shaping their medical practices and spiritual beliefs. They saw their bodies as vessels of divine communication, and headaches were no exception. The belief that a god could communicate through the physical discomfort of a headache was a testament to their profound connection with the divine. In the heart of ancient Greece, the hustle and bustle of daily life unfolded against a backdrop of towering marble temples and vibrant marketplaces. The air was thick with the aroma of olive oil, the chatter of traders from far-off lands, and the gentle hum of philosophical debates. The Greeks lived in harmony with their environment, their lives intertwined with the rhythm of the seasons and the timeless ebb and flow of the Mediterranean Sea. Headaches, in this vibrant yet calm setting, were not just seen as mundane physical ailments, but were imbued with a higher significance. Within each throbbing pain, the Greeks perceived divine messages whispered by Apollo himself, the god of healing and truth. This belief was deeply rooted in their daily lives, influencing their understanding of health and disease. The people of ancient Greece lived by the ethos of mens sana in corpore sano, which translates to a healthy mind in a healthy body. This holistic view of health recognized the interconnectedness of the body, mind, and spirit. From the bustling marketplace to the tranquil olive groves, the ancient Greeks carried out their daily chores and responsibilities with a deep reverence for their bodies. They believed their bodies to be the vessels of divine communication, and in the throbbing pain of headaches, they sought the wisdom of their gods. The concept of divine communication through physical discomfort was not an isolated belief, but was a part of their broader worldview, where everything, from the rustling leaves to the whispering winds, was seen as part of a divine plan. At the same time, the ancient Greeks recognized the impact of their environment on their health. They understood that changes in the weather, the quality of their diet, and the intensity of their physical labor could induce headaches. They also believed that the balance of the four humors, blood, black bile, yellow bile, and phlegm, was crucial for maintaining good health. An imbalance in these humors was thought to result in various ailments, including headaches. Thus, nestled among the marble pillars and beneath the azure skies, the ancient Greeks sought to understand the mystery of headaches. They walked a delicate balance between attributing these throbbing pains to the whims of Apollo and recognizing the influence of their environment on their health. This fascinating interplay between physical health, divine intervention, and environmental factors made the ancient Greek interpretation of headaches a unique chapter in the annals of medical history. This understanding not only shaped their approach to health and wellness, but also shaped their social fabric, contributing to the rich tapestry of their cultural heritage. Our narrative journey takes us now to the island of Kos, a verdant oasis in the Aegean Sea, where the ruins of an ancient healing temple were discovered. This temple, known as the Asclepion, was dedicated to the Greek god of medicine, Asclepios. It was here that Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, practiced and taught his healing arts more than 2 millennia ago. The discovery of the Asclepion in the 19th century by German archaeologist Rudolf Herzog was pivotal in understanding the ancient Greek approach to health and disease, including headaches. Nestled amidst the ruins, archaeologists unearthed a collection of votive offerings. These were small, intricately crafted terracotta figures offered to Asclepios by those seeking his divine intervention in their healing. Among these figures, a significant number depicted individuals holding their heads, an act indicative of suffering from headaches. The prevalence of these offerings suggests that headaches were a common ailment among the ancient Greeks, and they sought the gods' divine assistance for relief. Further insight into the ancient Greek understanding of headaches comes from the Hippocratic corpus, a collection of medical works attributed to Hippocrates and his students. This collection, discovered in the library of the Byzantine physician and scholar Oribasius, provides a wealth of information on the Greek approach to health and disease. Within these texts, headaches are frequently mentioned, associated with imbalances in the 4 humors and environmental factors such as diet, physical exertion, and changes in weather. The Hippocratic corpus also mentions the practice of trepanation, a surgical procedure where a hole is drilled into the skull to relieve pressure. It was believed that this procedure could alleviate severe headaches, showing that the ancient Greeks complemented their spiritual approach to health with practical medical interventions. The Asclepion, the votive offerings, and the writings of Hippocrates provide a vivid picture of how the ancient Greeks understood headaches. It was a world where divine intervention and practical medicine worked hand in hand, where the humor's balance and the environment's impact on health were acknowledged and addressed. The discovery of the Asclepion and the Hippocratic corpus shed a light on this fascinating chapter of history, revealing a nuanced understanding of headaches that interweaves the spiritual, the physical, and the environmental. As our narrative thread unwinds, we continue to explore how ancient cultures made sense of the throbbing pain that is as old as humanity itself. As we trace the echoes of time, our journey takes us next to the majestic civilization of ancient Egypt, a society known for its advanced medical knowledge. Pain, including headaches, was a common motif in Egyptian medical papyri, the ancient records of their healthcare practices. Among these, the Ebers. Papyrus stands out as one of the most comprehensive medical texts from this era, dating back to circa 1500 BCE. Described within the intricate hieroglyphs of the Ebers Papyrus are various remedies for headaches. These range from the application of a clay poultice to the ingestion of herb-infused wine to the recitation of magical spells. This blend of physical treatments and incantations illuminates a culture that saw the spiritual and physical realms as inextricably linked. The headache was not merely a physical ailment, but a disturbance that resided on the threshold of the seen and the unseen. The Ebers Papyrus also suggests a rudimentary understanding of different types of headaches, as different remedies were proposed based on the headache's characteristics. Some treatments were prescribed specifically for headache in half the head, an intriguing description that may be one of the earliest references to migraines. The ancient Egyptians' approach to headaches provides us with a window into their broader worldview. They lived in a reality where the physical and the metaphysical were intertwined, where the body's ailments could be as much an affliction of the spirit as of the flesh. Their methods of healing were not merely about curing symptoms, but about restoring balance, harmony, and order in the individual and the cosmos. However, the understanding of headaches as presented in the Ebers Papyrus also shows a level of practical, observational knowledge. The differentiation of headaches and the tailored remedies suggest a keen attention to the individual's experience of pain. This observation-based approach is a cornerstone of modern medicine, where diagnosis and treatment are tailored to the individual patient. As we delve deeper into the past, we find that the history of headaches is a tapestry woven with threads of belief, observation, and a desire to ease human suffering. As we journey further, we continue to uncover how this tapestry takes shape across different cultures and eras. In the soft whispers of the past, we find the origins of our understanding, the roots of our knowledge, and perhaps a gentle reminder of the enduring human spirit that sought to comprehend and alleviate the burden of pain. As we sift through the sands of time, it's important to consider the reliability of our sources. We have leaned heavily on the Ebers Papyrus, an ancient Egyptian medical text, for our understanding of how people from this era perceived and treated headaches. But how reliable is this document? Who believes in its veracity, and who questions it? What evidence do we have on both sides? Those who believe in the Ebers Papyrus's authenticity argue that it provides a wealth of information about ancient Egyptian medical practices, not just concerning headaches, but about a wide spectrum of ailments. This text, they say, presents a nuanced blend of spiritual and physical remedies that mirror the interconnected nature of the ancient Egyptian worldview. The treatments it proposes are logical, drawing from the natural resources available at the time, and the descriptions of different types of headaches reflect an observational approach to medicine that resonates with our contemporary understanding. However, the Ebers Papyrus is not without its critics. Some question the authenticity of the document, suggesting it may be a later addition to the medical literature rather than an original text. Others argue that the remedies it outlines are largely anecdotal, based on personal experiences rather than systematic study. Even the translation and interpretation of the ancient text can be a point of contention. The word choices and their implications, the structure of the text, even the interpretation of its symbols and figures, are all subject to scholarly debate. The physical evidence of the text itself is also a consideration. The Ebers Papyrus, like many ancient documents, has suffered the ravages of time. Some sections are missing or damaged, which can lead to gaps in our understanding. The very act of interpreting an ancient text involves a degree of guesswork and extrapolation, which can introduce a margin of error. In weighing these perspectives, we must remember that historical research is often a matter of piecing together fragments of the past. Each source, whether it's a medical text like the Ebers Papyrus or an artifact unearthed from an archaeological site, contributes a piece to the puzzle. It's in the careful examination, the thoughtful questioning, and the respectful debate that we edge closer to a clearer picture of the past. As we continue our journey through the history of headaches, let us hold in our minds this delicate balance between belief and doubt, between evidence and interpretation. In the quiet hum of history's echo, we find not only answers, but also questions, each leading us deeper into the labyrinth of the human experience. The tale of ancient civilizations and their understanding of headaches, like many fragments of history, has faded into the background over time. The reasons for this are manifold, intricate, and often impacted by shifts in cultural ideologies, dominance of new scientific thought, and the simple erosion of time. The rise of modern medicine, with its emphasis on empirical evidence and rigorous testing, has often relegated ancient medical wisdom to the realm of folklore and superstition. As we adopted a more mechanistic view of the body, the holistic, interconnected approach of the ancients, where the spiritual, emotional, and physical were intimately linked, became less prevalent. Many of these practices were abandoned or forgotten as we shifted towards a more clinical, reductionist understanding of health and disease. Moreover, the very process of historical record-keeping and transmission has played a role in this forgetting. Many ancient texts have been lost or damaged over centuries. Some have been deliberately destroyed due to changing religious or political ideologies. Others have simply crumbled away, their delicate papyrus or vellum unable to withstand the ravages of time. Even when these texts do survive, their interpretation can be fraught with difficulty. The subtleties of ancient languages, the nuances of cultural context, and the vagaries of individual translation all play a part in shaping our understanding of these texts. There is always a risk that some meanings may be lost in translation, or worse, misinterpreted. In addition, topics relating to health and disease have often been shrouded in taboo, further obscuring our understanding. In many ancient cultures, discussing certain ailments was considered bad luck or even sacrilegious. These taboos could have contributed to a paucity of records or to the deliberate destruction of existing ones. Yet, in spite of these challenges, the quest to uncover the past continues. Archaeologists, historians, linguists, and medical professionals all work together, sifting through the sands of time, deciphering ancient scripts, and piecing together the fragments of our shared human history. As we delve deeper into the past, we may yet find more pieces of the puzzle, shedding light on what our ancestors believed about headaches and why. As we continue this journey, let us remember that every discovery, every interpretation, and every debate brings us one step closer to understanding not just the past, but also our present, and potentially our future. As we quietly descend into the depths of antiquity, we find ourselves amidst a palette of beliefs steeped in symbolism. Every physical ailment, including headaches, was not just a manifestation of physical discomfort, but a symbol, a sign, or a message to be deciphered. The headache, in particular, was often seen as a powerful omen, a divine intervention of sorts, demanding attention and action. In the spiritual realm, the ancient Egyptians, for instance, considered the head as the seat of spiritual and intellectual life. A headache, therefore, was thought to be an interference with these spiritual or intellectual forces. It was seen as a battle being waged within the confines of the skull, perhaps a struggle between good and evil, truth and deception, order and chaos. In the philosophical landscape of ancient Greece, the head was seen as the domicile of the rational soul. A headache was interpreted as a disturbance in this rational order, a disruption in the harmony of the cosmos mirrored within the individual. It was a call to re-establish equilibrium, to realign oneself with the rhythm of the universe. And in the emotional sphere, indigenous cultures across the world often saw headaches as a manifestation of emotional distress or turmoil. They were considered a sign that one needed to reevaluate their relationships, their decisions, their life path. A headache was a plea from the soul for introspection, for change, for healing. Undoubtedly, these interpretations of headaches would have had profound implications for the individuals experiencing them. Instead of being merely physical discomforts to be endured, headaches were transformed into profound spiritual, philosophical, and emotional journeys. They were considered opportunities for growth, for transformation, for enlightenment. In the modern world, we may view these ancient interpretations with a degree of skepticism. Yet, they offer us a window into a time when the boundaries between the physical, the spiritual, the emotional, and the philosophical were fluid, permeable. They remind us of a holistic approach to health and well-being that we may have lost sight of in our pursuit of scientific precision and objectivity. As we continue to uncover the beliefs and practices of our ancestors, we inevitably come face to face with our own beliefs and practices. We are challenged to question, to reflect, to reevaluate. And perhaps, in this process of discovery, we may find not just the wisdom of the ancients, but also a deeper understanding of ourselves. It is fascinating to discover how these ancient perspectives have echoed through time, subtly shaping our collective consciousness. Even today, remnants of these beliefs can be found in the corners of our culture, in our folk tales, art, and even in our everyday language. For instance, the concept of headaches as a result of internal turmoil or spiritual conflict has found its way into many narratives and idioms. When we say, "This problem is giving me a headache," we are, in a sense, acknowledging that emotional stress can manifest physically in our bodies. And who can forget the vivid imagery of renowned artists like Frida Kahlo, who often depicted her physical pain, including severe headaches, as a reflection of her emotional and spiritual suffering? In her self-portraits, we see echoes of this ancient belief that the physical and spiritual are intimately connected. Moreover, the ancient Greek notion of headaches as a disruption in the harmony of the cosmos has left an indelible mark on our understanding of wellness. Even today, the idea of achieving balance, whether it's balancing work and play, our diet, or our mental and physical health, is deeply ingrained in our cultural psyche. In some cultures, the belief that headaches are a sign from the soul, a call for introspection and change, has been preserved in folk tales and myths. Many indigenous cultures continue to regard illness not just as a physical ailment, but as a spiritual message that needs to be deciphered and addressed. Finally, the practices that emerged from these ancient beliefs, such as the use of herbs, acupuncture, or meditation to treat headaches, continue to be used and valued. These traditional methods remind us of a holistic approach to health, one that does not separate the body from the mind or the individual from the universe. As we trace the path of these ancient ideas through the corridors of time, we begin to see that they are not relics of the past, but living, breathing aspects of our present. They continue to shape our understanding of ourselves, of our bodies, of our place in the universe. They whisper to us, gently reminding us of the wisdom of our ancestors, of the lessons they learned, of the truths they discovered. They remind us that we are not just physical beings, but spiritual, emotional, philosophical beings, journeying through a vast and mysterious cosmos. In this penultimate chapter of our journey, let us venture into the realms of the more unconventional and creative theories ancient people held about headaches. Some may seem far-fetched, others simply captivating, but all contribute to the rich tapestry of human understanding and imagination. In ancient India, a school of thought known as Tantrism emerged around the 5th century. These tantric practitioners believed in the existence of a cosmic energy, Kundalini, said to lie dormant at the base of the spine. Through meditation, it was thought one could awaken this energy, causing it to ascend through the 7 chakras, or energy centers in the body. If the energy was blocked or disrupted, it could result in physical discomfort, including headaches. Some scholars hypothesize that the concept of tension headaches may have originated from such beliefs. Let us now travel to the mystical lands of ancient Egypt, where the concept of Ka, a person's double or spiritual essence, was pivotal. It was believed that if the Ka was disturbed, it could cause physical ailments. The Edwin Smith Papyrus, one of the oldest known medical texts, suggests spells and incantations as a remedy for such disturbances, indicating headaches could be viewed as a spiritual, rather than purely physical, ailment. And then, there were those who believed in the extraordinary. The ancient Greeks, for instance, held the mythical creature Cerberus, the three-headed dog, as a symbol for severe headaches. Each head represented a different type of pain, and tackling the beast was akin to battling an intense headache. In the Far East, in ancient China, an interesting concept emerged. Headaches were thought to be caused by invading wind. This invisible force could enter the body through the neck and head, causing discomfort. To expel the wind, they used techniques such as acupuncture and warming therapies, some of which are still practiced today. Lastly, let's not forget the Celts, with their enchanting tales of fairies and sprites. They believed that headaches could be the result of a mischievous fairy having a bit of fun at a human's expense. A fairy blast to the head would result in a throbbing pain, remedied only by appealing to the fairy folk with gifts or kind deeds. Each of these theories, as imaginative and diverse as they may be, underline one common thread: the belief in the interconnectedness of the physical and the metaphysical, the seen and the unseen, the human and the cosmic. As we prepare to close this chapter, let's take a moment to appreciate the richness and diversity of our ancestors' imaginations and the enduring power of their beliefs. As we draw the curtains on our exploration of what ancient people thought caused headaches, we find ourselves in a quiet, reflective space. We have traveled through time and across cultures, each with its unique and fascinating beliefs. From humoral imbalances to spiritual disturbances, from mythical beasts to invisible winds and mischievous fairies, we've journeyed through a myriad of perceptions that shaped our ancestors' understanding of this universal human experience. One cannot help but be struck by the creativity, the imagination, and the profound sense of belief that colored these theories. In the absence of scientific knowledge, our ancestors turned to what they knew best: the world around them, their spiritual beliefs, and their experiences. They sought explanations in the realms of the divine, the supernatural, the elements, and even the whims of mythical creatures. Such a rich tapestry of ideas provides us with a deeper understanding of our forebears, a glimpse into their hopes, fears, and their ceaseless quest for understanding. It also underscores the timeless, universal human desire to make sense of our physical experiences and the world around us. And it leads us to wonder, what will future generations make of our current understanding of headaches? How will our concepts and treatments evolve? Will they be seen as rudimentary or insightful? Perhaps, someday, our notions of migraines, tension headaches, and cluster headaches will seem as quaint and curious as the ideas we've explored today. The moon now hangs high in the night sky, casting a soft glow upon the world below. It's time to let go of the day's thoughts and surrender to the gentle embrace of sleep. As you drift off, let your mind wander to the ancient worlds we've visited, to the beliefs that once were, and to the mysteries that yet remain. If you were to imagine a cause for headaches rooted in your reality, your experiences, your beliefs, what would it be? That, dear listener, is a thought to mull over, a dream to dream, as you let sleep's gentle tide carry you away. Let the mystery linger. Let the dreams unfold. Good night. Thanks for listening. This has been Soothing History for Sleep. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.